Chapter 1 of Thuvia, Maid of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Mark Nelson. Thuvia, Maid of Mars. Chapter 1 Carthoris and Thuvia. Upon a massive bench of polished ursite beneath the gorgeous blooms of a giant pimalia, a woman sat. Her shapely, sandaled foot tapped impatiently upon the jewel-strewn walk that wound beneath the stately serapis trees across the scarlet sward of the royal gardens of Thuvandin, Jeddak of Kaol, as a dark-haired, red-skinned warrior bent low toward her, whispering heated words close to her ear. "Ah, Thuvia of Ptarth," he cried, "you are cold, even before the fiery blasts of my consuming love. No harder than your heart, nor colder is the hard, cold ursite of this thrice-happy bench which supports your divine and fadeless form. Tell me, O Thuvia of Ptarth, that I may still hope, that though you do not love me now, yet someday, my princess, I—" The girl sprang to her feet with an exclamation of surprise and displeasure. Her queenly head was poised haughtily upon her smooth red shoulders. Her dark eyes looked angrily into those of the man. "You forget yourself and the customs of Barsoom, Astok," she said. "I have given you no right thus to address the daughter of Thuvandin, nor have you won such a right." The man reached suddenly forth and grasped her by the arm. "You shall be my princess!" he cried. "By the breast of Isis thou shalt, nor shall any other come between Astok, Prince of Dusar, and his heart's desire. Tell me that there is another, and I shall cut out his foul heart and fling it to the wild calots of the dead sea bottoms." At touch of the man's hand upon her flesh, the girl went pallid beneath her coppery skin, for the persons of the royal women of the courts of Mars are held but little less than sacred. The act of Astok, Prince of Dusar, was profanation. There was no terror in the eyes of Thuvia of Ptarth, only horror for the thing the man had done and for its possible consequences. "Release me." Her voice was level, frigid. The man muttered incoherently and drew her roughly toward him. "Release me," she repeated sharply, "or I call the guard, and the Prince of Dusar knows what that will mean." Quickly he threw his right arm about her shoulders and strove to draw her face to his lips. With a little cry, she struck him full in the mouth with the massive bracelets that circled her free arm. "Callet!" she exclaimed, and then, "The guard! The guard! Hasten in protection of the Princess of Ptarth!" In answer to her call, a dozen guardsmen came racing across the scarlet sward, their gleaming longswords naked in the sun, the metal of their accoutrements clanking against that of their leathern harness, and in their throats hoarse shouts of rage at the sight which met their eyes. But before they had passed half across the royal garden to where Astok of Dusar still held the struggling girl in his grasp, another figure sprang from a cluster of dense foliage that half hid a golden fountain close at hand. A tall, straight youth he was, with black hair and keen gray eyes, broad of shoulder and narrow of hip, a clean-limbed fighting man. His skin was but faintly tinged with the copper color that marks the red men of Mars from the other races of the dying planet. He was like them, and yet there was a subtle difference, greater even than that which lay in his lighter skin and his gray eyes. There was a difference, too, in his movements. He came on in great leaps that carried him so swiftly over the ground that the speed of the guardsmen was nothing by comparison. Astok still clutched Thuvia's wrist as the young warrior confronted him. The newcomer wasted no time, and he spoke but a single word. "Callet," he snapped, and then his clenched fist landed beneath the other's chin, lifting him high into the air and depositing him in a crumpled heap within the center of the pimalia bush beside the ursite bench. Her champion turned toward the girl. "Kaol, Thuvia of Ptarth," he cried. "It seems that fate timed my visit well." "Kaol, Carthoris of Helium," the princess returned the young man's greeting. "And what
Sample complete. Ready to continue?